Exodus, Exile and Redemption. Section 5. Yosef and his brothers. Chapter 2. The Dreamer's Crime. Behold, this dreamer comes, and now let us kill him. Genesis 37:19. With these words the brothers set their judgment. Yosef must die. Why did his brothers deem him a mortal threat? Because he was a dreamer, a trafficker in shadows of the unknown. And they aimed to attain prophetic illumination, nothing less than knowledge of Hashem. The story of Yosef and his brothers, on its surface one of inter-sibling rivalry, is in truth a fundamental theological dispute that stands at the core of both the Torah and Jewish history. For Yosef, the God of Israel was distant and unknowable, and the destiny of his people was to be discerned in the shadowy medium of dreams. The brothers, in their great righteousness, held otherwise. They sought to ground the path of Israel in the light of Hashem's clear word, for they maintained that Hashem and his message are near and present. This reading of the narrative, but faintly hinted at in the Torah's telling, is made clear and expanded in a passage in the book of Jeremiah, replete with allusions to Yosef's story. First, the prophet proclaims Hashem's immediacy. Quote, "Am I a God who is near, and not a God from afar? If a man should hide in secret places, would I not see him? Do I not fill the heavens and the earth?" Jeremiah 23:23-24. Then the prophet denounces those who confuse mere dreams with the true word of Hashem, which is authentic prophecy. Quote, "I have heard what the prophets said, prophesying in my name with lies, saying, 'I had a dream, I had a dream.' They think to make my people forget my name with their dreams would they tell every man to his neighbor, just as their fathers forgot my name because of Baal. The prophet who has a dream, let him tell a dream, but he that has my word, let him speak my word in truth. What is the straw to the grain?" Jeremiah 23:25-28. Hashem is ever near, filling heavens and earth, and is to be sought in the clarity of his revealed word, not in the obscurity of dreams. The dream is but the distorted echo of prophecy. It exists only because truth casts a shadow into the distance. The divine word and the dream are as different as grain is to straw, the residue that inevitably clings to the nourishing kernel. For this reason, the brothers hated Yosef, quote, "for his dreams and for his words," Genesis 37:8. His grave crime was to confuse the dream for word, to think that the destiny of the people of God's pure word would be determined through a dream echo. This, they maintained, was nothing less than an effort to make Hashem's people forget his name, a transgression as grave as idolatry and in their eyes worthy of death. Yosef's dream about grain, quote, "Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field," Ibid 7, foreshadows the mastery over bread he would one day attain in Egypt, sustaining nations with his stores. Yet that vision of grain bore within it the shadow of straw, for the descent to Egypt would also bring slavery, where straw became the symbol of bondage. See Exodus chapter 6. To dream of grain, symbol of the word, is to sense that prophecy is distant. For the dream arises only when the word itself cannot be heard. The famine Yosef managed in Egypt was the outward sign of this deeper lack, a hunger not only for bread, but for the word of Hashem itself, the sustaining power behind all being. Quote, "Behold, days are coming, when I will send a hunger in the land, not a hunger for bread nor a thirst for water, but for hearing the words of Hashem." Amos 8:11. In the measure that the word of Hashem is inaccessible, the sublime destiny of Israel, his people, will involve an admixture of suffering and bondage, like straw attaches to grain. Recall that Koheles, however, speaks differently than Jeremiah. Quote, "For God is in heaven and you are in earth. Therefore, let your words be few." Koheles 5:1. God is not near but distant, enthroned in heaven, while man remains below, with only the uncertain language of dreams by which to reach upward. And so he adds, quote, "For dreams come with much busyness." End quote. Dreams are the inevitable consequence of God's remoteness, the human attempt to reach what cannot be directly spoken, only sensed from afar. The stance of the brothers matches that of the prophet Jeremiah. Hashem is near. The stance of Yosef matches that of Koheles. He is far. The Torah hints at the brothers' position when it says, quote, "They saw him from afar, and before he drew near to them, they conspired against him to kill him." Genesis 37:18. To the brothers, Yosef's distance marked him for death. The man from afar makes God far from man. But to Koheles, Yosef's farness is the true condition of earthly man beneath heaven. Here lies the dispute, revolving around the poles of knowledge and unknowledge discussed earlier in this work. Like his father who slept and dreamt and lamented, quote, "I did not know," Genesis 28:16, Yosef sleepwalks in the way of unknowledge. His brothers pursue the pure knowledge their father yearned for. The saga of Yosef and his brothers plays out in all its pain and strife. Yet both positions of the children of Israel carry truth, for God is at once near and far, his reality revealed in word and in dream. Israel's destiny beats between these two stances, now knowing Hashem, now cast back into unknowledge. Here God is near in word, there far in dream, and history itself resounds with this rhythm of nearness and distance, until the final cadence when all is gathered into unity.